The truck door slammed with a sharp echo, cutting off Lucy's desperate cries in an instant. "Please? I'm cold." The 8-year-old girl stood alone as the red taillights faded into the raging Wyoming blizzard. Snow whipped across the road, erasing all signs of the truck as if it had never been there. The forest pressed in from every side, dark and endless, the wind howling like a warning meant only for her. The cold burned her skin, stealing her breath, filling her chest with panic. And just when the night felt ready to swallow her whole, a sound broke through the storm, a deep, steady bark. Moments later, a figure emerged from the snow. A U.S. Marine, his posture solid and calm, stepped forward with a K9 at his side. Some would later call it coincidence. Others would call it training. Lucy would remember it as the moment help arrived on 4 legs, when Faith stepped out of the storm. Snow fell sideways across Blackpine Ridge, thick enough to swallow sound and distance. Lucy Harper was small for her age, thin-boned, her pale skin flushed raw from the cold. Light freckles dotted her nose, visible even beneath the sting of winter. Her light brown hair escaped in damp strands from a knitted hat that had grown heavy with snow. Her gray-blue eyes moved constantly, scanning the dark trees as she struggled to keep up with the man walking ahead. Evan Harper was not her real father, and Lucy felt that truth in every step he took without slowing for her. He was 38, tall but heavy in a way that came from neglect rather than strength. His beard was thick and uneven, snow clinging to the dark stubble along his jaw. His eyes were small, brown, and often filled with irritation, especially when they landed on Lucy. To the people of Clearwater, Evan was just a man who worked odd jobs and drank too much. To Lucy he was unpredictable. A presence that felt unsafe. A voice that could turn sharp without warning. "Stop crying," Evan snapped without turning around. "This is how you learn." Lucy wiped her nose with the stiff fabric of her mitten. She didn't argue. She had learned that silence was safer. Her mother, Sarah, was away working a double shift. Since marrying Evan, Sarah had grown quieter, smaller somehow. Lucy noticed everything. The pickup truck stopped suddenly. Lucy stumbled forward. "This is far enough," Evan said coldly. Her heart began to race. "I'm cold," she whispered. "That's the point." He shoved her backward into the snow. And then he drove away. The silence after the truck vanished was worse than the shouting. Lucy stood frozen, not yet from the cold but from disbelief. The forest seemed alive, tall pines bending under heavy snow, branches creaking like warnings. The wind sliced through her thin jacket, finding every weakness. Time blurred. Minutes stretched endlessly. Her fingers burned, then slowly went numb. Her thoughts drifted, unfinished schoolwork, her mother's shampoo, the rattle of the kitchen window at night. She tried to walk but stopped, unsure which direction was safe. Eventually, Lucy collapsed near the base of a tree, curling inward instinctively, trying to stay warm. Snow settled on her shoulders, melting then freezing again. Her breathing came in short, shaky bursts. That was when she heard it. A low bark, steady and powerful, cutting through the storm. Lucy lifted her head. Out of the tree stepped a German shepherd, large and strong, his dark coat dusted white with snow. His movements were precise, controlled. His intelligent eyes locked onto Lucy, calm and alert. Behind him came a man. Staff Sergeant Jack Miller moved with the confidence of someone who had survived harsh places. He was 40, broad-shouldered without excess, his strength shaped by years of service. A thin scar cut through his eyebrow, a quiet reminder of battles past. His gray eyes took everything in instantly. He stopped when he saw Lucy. "Hey," Jack said gently, kneeling. "You're not alone." Lucy tried to speak, but her teeth chattered too hard. The dog stepped closer, positioning himself between her and the forest. Jack removed his heavy jacket and wrapped it around her shoulders. The warmth was almost painful against her numb skin. "What's your name?" he asked. "Lucy," she whispered. "I'm Jack. And this is Rex." Rex's tail wagged slowly. He pressed his warm body against her, steady and alive. Lucy released a breath she didn't realize she'd been holding. Jack quickly set up an emergency tarp, blocking the wind. His trained eyes noted her soaked shoes, the early signs of hypothermia, the fear etched into her face. "Did someone bring you out here?" he asked carefully. Lucy nodded. "My stepdad." Jack's jaw tightened. Before he could radio for help, Rex stiffened. A low growl vibrated through his chest. Jack followed the dog's gaze. An engine coughed in the distance. Jack stepped protectively in front of Lucy. Rex rose, muscles tense. Jack knew then, the night wasn't finished. Someone was coming back. The abandoned ranger station appeared through the storm like a forgotten memory. Jack guided Lucy inside, Rex close at her side. The cold inside was different, less violent but deep. Jack barricaded the door and quickly lit the old iron stove. Firelight revealed Lucy's pale face, blue-tinged lips, exhaustion clinging to her. Jack wrapped Rex's thermal blanket around her legs and moved her closer to the heat. Rex lay beside her, pressing his body against hers, breathing slow and steady. "You're safe for now," Jack said calmly. "I need you to listen." Lucy nodded weakly. Jack activated his body camera. "This is recording. You're not in trouble." Lucy spoke softly, words tumbling out. Her stepdad's anger, her mother working nights, the threats, the fear. Jack listened without interruption. Then Rex growled. Headlights flashed through the cracks in the boards. A man's voice called out, forced and uneasy. "Lucy, come on. This isn't funny." Lucy shrank into Rex's fur. "That's him." Jack stepped forward. "Step away from the building. Law enforcement has been notified." Another man appeared, lean, sharp-eyed, holding a rifle. Rex lunged, slamming into the door with a thunderous bark. Wood cracked. Rex yelped. Jack forced the door shut as the men retreated, panic overtaking bravado. The engine roared away. Silence returned. Rex limped back, blood darkening his fur. Lucy's eyes filled with tears. "Is he hurt?" "He's strong," Jack said, binding the wound carefully. The camera kept recording. This night, Jack knew, had opened something that couldn't be closed. Morning brought a fragile calm to Clearwater. Lucy sat wrapped in blankets in the back of a police cruiser, Rex's head resting gently on her legs. Jack followed close behind. At the sheriff's office, the truth unfolded. Medical exams revealed old bruises. The body cam footage spoke clearly. Evan was detained. Lucy stayed close to Rex, her small hand resting on his fur. Safety for the first time felt real. Days later, in court, the evidence was undeniable. Evan was found guilty of child endangerment and permanently barred from Lucy's life. The gavel fell and something heavy finally lifted. Jack retired early. He stayed. Rex lost part of his leg, but not his spirit. He adapted with quiet strength. Lucy healed slowly. Trauma loosened its grip. Together they built something new. A home. A purpose. A second chance. Because sometimes miracles don't arrive as thunder, but as a stranger who refuses to walk away.